We are heading into the semi-finals of the Champions League, and of course it is now time for UCL Fantasy again. Been a while since I haven't shown you my fantasy team for the quarterfinals. I skipped it, now we're back for the semis, and I can already tell you we have quite a big fixing job to do, to be honest, because I have 9 players who are out of the Champions League still in my team, and we can only make 5 transfers for the semi-final. No idea how we're gonna do this, but somehow we're gonna pull this off together and still get that top 100 finish. Let's get into it. First of all, the update. How did I actually do while I wasn't making videos about fantasy? Round of 16 first leg was a very solid performance from the team, 75 points. Then came the second leg where Bayern beat Salzburg 7-1, so that we totally smashed it out the window, and that gave us our best match day in this season so far, 99 points. Then came the quarterfinals, and the first leg was very bad, to be honest, only 39. That was our worst match day of the season. And then the second leg was significantly better, but still not great, only okay. But when we have a look at the table, we actually climbed almost 100 spots compared to after the group stages. I think we were 379th. Now we are 282nd. That is out of over 5,000 total members in the FBArmy League, so I'm very content with that. Overall, we are 18,640th out of 1.5 million people playing this game worldwide. I'm very happy, but there has to be more in it for us. We want to make top 100 in our league, and for that, yeah, let's have a look at our broken team. It is a little bit broken, to be honest. Robert Lewandowski, Thomas Müller, Leroy Sané, Joshua Kimmich, and also our backup goalie Sven Ulreich, who's just there to save money. These 5 are already knocked out. Bayern surprisingly lost to Villarreal. Then I also had 2 Chelsea boys, Thiago Silva and Antonio Rüdiger, gone as well. They lost to Real Madrid. And because I did take a punt on Atletico, I also put Joao Felix and Reinildo Mandava, 2 Atletico players. These are gone as well, so 9 players who we actually have to replace, but we can only replace 5 of them. Let's head into the transfer center, and now we need a proper strategy. Who are we going to replace? Who are we going to keep in the team? So theoretically, logically, you want to remove the most expensive players that aren't playing anymore. So it's only logical that we are going to remove Lewandowski at 12.4 million, Thomas Müller at 10 million, and also Joao Felix at 9 million. Well, I thought the same thing, but sadly, it doesn't work like that. Generally, yes, Robert Lewandowski, I can tell you, he's gonna be gone. Thomas Müller, he's gonna be gone. Leroy Sané, he's gonna go out. But now the problem is we have 5 defenders in our whole team, and 4 of those are knocked out. So we have to remove some of these defenders to bring in fresh ones, otherwise we can't even line up a full team. And because those defenders are never the most expensive, we will simply have to keep Joao Felix, for example, in our team at 9 million, and therefore remove an Antonio Rüdiger at 6.1. And also, of course, Joshua Kimmich at 6.9. Because we will need at least 3 defenders playing. We sadly can't play a 2 in the back and then 6 midfielders. So yep, I decided for these 5 players to leave us this match day. Joao Felix, Reinildo Mandava, Thiago Silva, and also Sven Ulreich. These 4 are just going to be chilling on the bench and watching us, even if they're knocked out. It doesn't matter, we have to keep them. But we now have a sweet budget of 45.2 million euros for just 5 players. So we can actually go all out and don't care about the price tags anymore. So looking at it from this perspective, it doesn't really matter that we have to keep Joao Felix at 9 million in the team. We have enough money anyway. So it's clear that we will have to give up on our bench for this match day. Let's just try to get the best, the most out of our starting 11. We're starting with the defense and looking for replacements for Antonio Rüdiger and Joshua Kimmich, but I already have 2 very good lads in mind. Our Antonio Rüdiger replacement is going to be no less than Virgil van Dijk, the boss of the Liverpool defense, and I could have put a Real Madrid defender. I did think about David Alaba first, but I'm just not certain that Real Madrid will get a clean sheet against Manchester City, like not certain at all actually. But I have a feeling that Liverpool can get clean sheets, maybe even in both games, against Villarreal, surely at Anfield. And a clean sheet is simply so big scoring wise for defenders in the UCL Fantasy game. They do get 4 additional points for that, so we simply have to focus on that. We can't rely on defenders scoring or assisting, of course with the fullbacks maybe, but if I'm going to put a center back, then just clean sheet is the most important thing. And he does also recover a lot of balls, which is very important too. 9 in the first leg against Benfica got him 3 bonus points. In the second leg he did not play, that was simply due to rotation, but I think against Villarreal, Jurgen Klopp will not take the risk and rotate in the UCL semi-final. And now the replacement for Joshua Kimmich, I'm gonna stick to my prediction, Liverpool to get a clean sheet, at least at Anfield. So it was between these 2 really for me, Trent or Konate, Both have scored the same points. Trent is significantly more expensive, 1.3 million more. But as I said, we don't really care about the budget. We have enough budget. And I do see Trent as the more likely player to get an assist or a goal, even if I said we can't rely on that. But if we're talking defenders, then I can't imagine many players that are more likely to get an assist than Trent Alexander-Arnold. He also didn't play the game against Benfica, the second leg, but I think same thing here. He will play both against Villarreal. He is selected by 36%, so not really a secret pick there, but we have to use those 5 spots that we have left wisely. We have the money, so we're going for the best players. That means we now have 4 Liverpool players in our team. We're getting to the midfield now. Leroy Sané was there against Villarreal. Well, just like all of the Bayern players, he didn't do a lot. But our replacement will hopefully do more. And that's someone who usually or often turns up in UCL knockout stages, and someone who I did have in the team at some stage before in the season. Riyad Mahrez. Yep, I did have the man against Sporting in the first leg. I don't know when else I had him, but against Sporting I had him for sure, even captained, and he got me 22 points then. I did not have him in the last game against Atletico, but now I'm getting him back, 9.7 million, and I'm actually surprised that he's only selected by 16%. Actually seems like a pick that way more people would make. He's still, I think, undervalued. Salah is 11.2. Of course, Salah is a little bit better, but not by a big margin in the Champions League. So I don't see why Mahrez would be 1.5 million less than Salah. I'm going to take it. City play at home in the first leg as well. I do think City will get a close win, and I also think that Mahrez will score that goal. Like, I obviously don't know, but you know, if I have to pick one, I would say it would be Mahrez. Okay, Joao Felix, as I said, he's eliminated, but will stay in the team. That also takes the number of City players in our team to 4. I mean, every team will get closer and closer to the other teams now, since we only have 4 teams remaining. So we can't be as creative as we were in the group stages. We just have to make smart picks now. And for the 2 forwards replacing Lewandowski and Müller, due to them being this expensive, I now have 22.2 million euros left. And look at the forwards, we can't spend all of this money. Even if we take the 2 most expensive ones here, which surprisingly, Gerard Moreno is the second most expensive one, we don't even get to 20 million euros. So I can literally pick any 2 forwards here. I think one of them is a no-brainer, Karim Benzema. I think he might be the highest scoring player in this competition now. 79 points after those 2 crazy back-to-back hat-tricks. Second leg against PSG, and of course also the first leg against Chelsea. He did also score the decisive goal against Chelsea. He's just massive right now. I mean, let's be honest, if Real Madrid win the Champions League, then he will easily win the Ballon d'Or as well. Already now, after Lewandowski was knocked out, Mbappe was knocked out, Messi knocked out. Okay, no, Messi doesn't play a role there, but he is the favorite to the Ballon d'Or. And don't blame me for taking him here. We have enough money. The best player has to be in. 10.6 million. I mean, that still makes him 1.8 million euros less than Lewandowski. Compared to that, he's not even that expensive. And then we still need Thomas Müller's replacement. We see there's quite a big gap between Benzema and all the other players in terms of scoring. We do have Vinicius Jr., 51 points. We do have Luis Diaz, 40. But then, to be honest, there's not many amazing scorers left that we can pick now, because they're all knocked out already. I'm just going to go Vinicius Jr. 8.9 million, selected by less people than Benzema. That's quite interesting. He's still 1.7 million less than Benzema. So as I've told you before several times, because I've had him in my team actually for most match days, I think he's a value pick. He isn't doing as great anymore as he was in the first half of the season maybe, but I think he's getting there again. He did give an assist in both games against Chelsea and also in the second leg against PSG, so he is still decisive for Real Madrid. I don't know who will advance in this fixture. I have 2 Real Madrid players now and 4 City players, so that obviously shows that I have more trust in City at the Etihad than I have for Real Madrid away, but of course we can change that after the first leg. I am still going to go with Vinicius Jr. Those are my lads. I do have 2.7 million euros left. Once again, we will be able to upgrade the team again in the second leg, and we will also remove some of those remaining knocked out players, but for the first leg, we'll have to go with this team. Let me just quickly bring in some order and get those knocked out players out. Yeah, here we go then. So usually I always put the players that play on the second day on the bench first. I mean, you always do that, but here we can basically forget about that because our whole bench is filled with players that won't play anymore. So each of our players that still has a game is already in the starting 11. Now it's just about the captain choice. We are obviously going to choose a captain from the City Real Madrid game because that is first. There we can have some influence. Liverpool Villarreal will be on the second match day. I don't have any Villarreal player in here, by the way, so yeah, I do trust in Liverpool a lot. Who are we gonna take as captain though? I'm thinking Benzema, obvious choice, or Riyad Mahrez. I mean, I can still change that up until just before kickoff basically, but for now I'm going to go with Riyad Mahrez. So yeah, this is my team. Very much decimated due to the knocked out players. And I mean, come on, we don't need subs. These 11 players are almost all world class and they can get a very high score. score. Imagine if we actually manage to get our highest scoring game week on the day that we have only 11 players. That would be insane. Our record has been 99 so far, so let's hit that 100 points barrier. Who says no? Well, at the end of the day, knowing my luck, probably Villarreal. Nah, but to be serious, I have big trust in Liverpool, of course. Wearing the red cap as well, nothing can go wrong. And that has been it. Let me know your fantasy team in the comments. Did you also have the same problem as me? Did you have so many knocked out players, or were you a little bit smarter in your predictions maybe? I actually didn't even keep that in mind, that you might end up with knocked out players, but for the Euros, there was the same thing, and we just have to improvise now. I think we're gonna do it pretty well. I'm gonna be back for the second leg. In the meantime, yeah, Forza Liverpool, Forza Benzema, Vinicius, and Forza Mahrez. Fantasy Fiago is out, wishing you all a very nice UCL match day, and peace.